Hey everybody, Merry Christmas! We're getting lumps of coal from Wall Street. I was away all last week, so I couldn't make a video, but here I am. And yes, I want to talk about the stock market, which is dropping like a rock. Folks, there is little, if any, I would say zero, fundamental reason for a collapse in the market like this. Many of the economic metrics that you can look at right now, things like retail sales, things like holiday sales, things like bank loans and leases, not only going up to all-time record highs. You look at industrial production, bank credit, all-time record highs, but they have been accelerating since November. So while the stock market has been going down, if in fact the market sell-off is leading to a broader and more general slowdown in the economy, you're just not seeing it. You're not seeing it in bank loans, which are accelerating higher at all-time record highs. You're not seeing it in retail sales. You're not seeing it in industrial production. You're not seeing it in capacity utilization. You're not seeing it. So the only thing I can ascribe this to is just worries and concern over what's happening with Trump and the Trump administration, where you have ongoing investigations, you have resignations now. Last week you had General Mattis resign, which, by the way, I'm 100% for that. I can't stand warmongers. I think Trump was right in wanting to pull out of Syria and cutting our troops in Afghanistan. We've been in these wars for so many years. We've wasted trillions and trillions of dollars. We're waging war against some of the poorest countries on the planet. People are dying, getting maimed for no reason, absolutely no reason. I think he was right to go against the Washington establishment and the neocons who preach constant war. Constant war. And Mattis's letter, in my opinion, was outrageous insubordination to the commander-in-chief. I mean, that guy, as the Secretary of Defense, he takes his orders from the President of the United States, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. You don't write a letter and whine about how, oh, I disagree with you, and make that public. You could state that privately and in person to the president, but then to put a letter out there in public, that is outrageous insubordination. Outrageous. I'm happy that that guy is gone. Mad Dog Mattis. Anybody who's named Mad Dog running the military is the wrong person for the job. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's about that. And that makes it impossible really to gauge how far down this can go, because people are just in a state of hysteria. Absolutely hysterical over this. Again, you look at bank loans and leases, not only at an all-time record high, but accelerating in the last month and a half, 2 months. Accelerating higher. If the economy's condition were deteriorating, you would not see that happen. Loans are a function of demand for credit. Banks cannot force credit down your throat. There has to be a demand for credit. And the acceleration of bank loans, which we are seeing now very, very clearly in all categories. All right? Commercial and industrial loans, consumer loans, auto loans, you name it, in all categories, real estate loans even, starting to pick up again now after a period where they had really slowed down quite a bit. We are seeing it in all categories. You would not see that if the condition of the economy was very dire. And then, I don't know, but the market wants to take everything as a negative. You had one silly comment by Mnuchin that was put out there today, that he called the CEOs of the top banks and asked them if they had enough liquidity. That's so stupid. First of all, it's stupid on the part of Mnuchin. Guy's a Treasury Secretary, doesn't know anything. What's he talking about, liquidity? He could look at the data, just as I pulled up the data from the Fed itself. It's publicly available. He could see that. He has that at his fingertips. If I have it, He definitely has it, all right? That's all publicly available information. Plus, what are you talking about liquidity? The banks don't lend liquidity. Liquidity is their deposits, and the Fed is there to backstop liquidity, all right? That's the reason the Fed is there. So all this stuff is based on pure emotion. And it is concerning. I can't say it's not concerning. The wheels have fallen off the Trump administration. At least it looks that way. We have this ongoing, ridiculous Russia collusion investigation, which has turned up nothing so far after more than a year and a half, almost 2 years. I think we're probably 2 years into this. We caught a couple of guys, one guy lying to Congress. What about James Clapper? What about Brennan? What about Hillary? They all lied, okay? So you have one guy lying to Congress. Another guy got caught up on some tax evasion from 10 years ago with a deal he did with Ukraine that has nothing to do with Russia. This is freaking people out. And now it's just a snowball event that keeps on going. But there is nothing economically, fundamentally economic behind this sell-off. It's not. This is a panic based on nothing. Well, I shouldn't say on nothing. I guess it's on the fear of an impeachment or an indictment of the president. But that, too, is not an economic condition. Now, many stocks were overvalued at the top. On October 4th, I made a video here and I sent out an email saying that a significant correction was coming. I called that top. You can go back and look at the videos. But yes, I got back in as it pulled back and it continues to drop. And now the decline is completely irrational. It's based on pure emotion and nothing else. There is no fundamental economic condition or conditions behind this that would justify a move like this, 500 points down every day. So what's happening is it looks like the whole entire Trump rally from, November 8th, 2016 until the peak is being unwound. The great unwinding. I put that video out last year. It was a little early, but I called it the great unwinding. But now it's not really based on anything fundamental whatsoever. This is pure emotion. And folks, over the course of history of the stock market, we have seen wars, we have seen recessions, we have seen depressions, we have seen assassinations, we have seen changes in policy, monetary and fiscal policy, we have seen oil embargoes, we have seen inflation, we have seen disinflation, all kinds of stuff, natural disasters. And if you look at any long-term chart of the stock market, it goes up because the stock market is a growth function. And people who can utilize these periods, when investors are dumping stocks wholesale out of panic and emotion, that's how you get rich. That is how you get rich. So right now, folks, we sit and we watch. We let this play out. And the end result will be like all end results when it comes to investing. You got to buy low to make money. You buy low, you sell high. You don't buy high and sell low. That doesn't work. That's a recipe for disaster. So, Wall Street's giving us some lumps of coal. That's fine. Tomorrow's a new day. Next week is a new week. 2019 is a new year. Let's see what happens. Merry Christmas, everybody!